Hey everyone, it's Ivan, kitbadger.com, out here today to take a first look at some new stuff from Lems as well as Surefire. Before we check out what's new from Surefire, got something new from Lems. If you are unfamiliar, they are basically make minimalist shoes. I've reviewed these in the past, probably not this pair, some other pair that I also worn out. These are the Primal 2s, and recently they came out with these right here, which are the Primal 3s. So I'm guessing there is a original Primal and then the 2 and 3. Never wore the original Primal. I spent a ton of time in the Primal 2 and now pretty excited because they just came out with a new version, those being the Primal 3. So I will, I guess, show you my old ones real quick and we'll see what is maybe a little bit new on these. And yeah, pretty stoked on them. These right here are my old Primal 2s. These are my new Primal 3s. As you can see, I've definitely worn these a lot. I really like how breathable they are. Looks like they most certainly kept that. Largely the same aesthetic. Things these are not good at, well, they actually work great, just durability wise. That's a lot of rope climbs and eventually it just wears through right there. Sample size of 1. I've also definitely spent a lot of time on that tread. Tread looks similar, except basically flatter. And so I think, honestly, there's just more of a sole, still a 0 drop, still not a ton of material, I don't think, but definitely more so than these, which I think I'm probably gonna like. Reason being, these, the way it's rounded basically, whereas this comes up more. I noticed between these and my Primal Zens, which I don't have here, these were, or the Primal Zens rather, were actually nicer for lifting because you kind of always were on a really flat, stable surface and your foot just transferred everything straight to the ground. Whereas this, you can, depending on how your foot's in here, it can have the tendency to kind of roll a little bit for me in the gym, sample size of 1. But yeah, going to try these things on. I think they also came up with a little bit different sizing for these, I want to say. I think they do half sizes now, which is pretty cool. And because it was raining when I left my house, I was wearing these, my Outlanders, which are waterproof by Lems. One thing also worth noting, one of my favorite things about, well, the Primals is there's no heel cup. So you can basically just slide your foot in and you're done. Cannot do that with the Primal Zens or Primal 2s. You can do that. Same with the Primal 3s, I imagine. Take a little while to break it in though. All right, new shoes, already got them a little dirty. Next up, what is new from Surefire? Well, actually not that long ago, they released the RC3, which is pretty neat, but then they just released, as of filming this, I think just released, RC3 in their flat dark earth. And so I was pretty fortunate, I actually got to go to the release for the RC3, the RC3 rally up in New Hampshire. It was at both the O'Neill Driving School, because who doesn't want to drive rally cars, and at Ridgeline. And we got to do a lot of shooting with these. Pretty impressed straight out the gate. And now I actually have one in hand to do some more shooting with and actually get to spend just, yeah, more time with it. So gonna do a little shooting. Did I mention it rained earlier? It's probably gonna rain again because North Idaho, but to do some shooting, I need a host gun. This right here is basically just a little SBR built out on a Ivanco Incorporated low receiver from back in the day when I had that FFL. Difrico Kung Fu grip, Reptilia Corp stock, riser by Scalarworks, EOTech, and then a flip to center magnifier, which I actually really like. From, as far as magnifiers go, kind of the best thing going, by Unity Tactical. And then this whole upper, it's pretty cool. This was actually built for me by a friend of mine, Michael, over at Criterion Barrels. So it has a Core Series 11.5, I want to say. and then the Surefire 3-prong. And this rail right here, a relic of the past. It's actually from Geisley Super Modular Rail Mark 1 Mod 1, 10-inch. Pretty cool. Back when they actually used Healy coils, which not the best way to go about things, but yeah, early days of figuring out how to make a really rigid rail. Pretty neat. And RC3 is basically backwards compatible as far as mounts go with like RC2, RC1, that stuff. So with that thing on here, do a little bit of shooting. Right over here, I have a reduced BC zone by TA targets. Probably about 1,000 yards, hard to tell from here. And it's starting to rain. So I'm gonna do some shooting around this vehicle, but first, I think I'm gonna probably put a layer on so I don't get all wet. And cover my camera. All right, first shots, let's do this thing live. Pinstriping's okay. I guess I can put my sling on since I have it. There's a little depression, or I'm in a depression. Not a clear line of sight. Need more bullets. Literally stopped to grab some more ammo and change my camera battery. And in that time, the rain stopped, the sun came out, and then it got cloudy again. So I can see blue sky. So it's either gonna get sunny and or just start raining and hailing again. We'll see. Something I do really like about this is, yeah, shooting it other strong side. Way nicer than high pressure, or high back pressure rather. And now we're back for the time being to a beautiful sunny day in North Idaho. But I just took the can off of this because something that I think is pretty neat and kind of played a tiny bit with at the actual RC3 rally, where I got to shoot the RC3 for the first time, is basically shooting the gun with and without the can. The new ones, RC3, being a flow-through design, basically not as hard on guns, so you can have a gun that is appropriately gassed like this. This actually does not have an adjustable gas block, and it'll run both ways without being just grossly overgassed if you throw a can on it. So we'll just do a little bit of shooting, probably prone out, and yeah, just kind of look at ejection pattern. Go ahead and just going to prone out, see where this thing's ejecting. Lay down on this nice damp ground. Throw the can back on this now. And now with the can, right about there. Sweet. Bam. Shade tree science. Definitely wish I had this on my journey to the other strong side. Definitely less gas. Dropped around. Did I mention it just started raining a little bit again? So that's happening. And also, did I mention that these new Primal 3s by Lems are waterproof? I didn't because they're actually not waterproof and my feet got a little bit wet, but that happened. Whatever. Fortunately, because of how light and airy they are with all that mesh, they actually dry really quick. But probably gonna, hopefully they dry out in time for the gym. Maybe go to the gym in these things later today. If they dry out in time, see what happens. I definitely really like the Primals for going to the gym. Nice and lightweight. And yeah, being able to transfer whatever you're lifting straight to the ground, which is kind of what you want to do. As for the RC3, looking forward to putting in more time with it. I frankly was actually really impressed with it at the RC3 rally, like the launch event. Massive improvement from the RC2 with respect to flow through and being able to not be overgassed, like definitely lower back pressure. So yeah, looking forward to putting in time with all of this stuff. And when I do, I will bring you guys full review. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.
Nobody move, nobody get hurt, they said. Make one wrong move, man, you wake up dead.